100%.
Bruce, I'm gonna step back a little bit on your statement talking about the energy across Virginia, even in the rural districts. And I'll tell you what, Heather, I'm gonna let Heather chime in on this, but I cannot stress enough to anybody viewing this what a difference it made in this election cycle to run a delegate in every district in Virginia as a Democrat or
Yes.
have a Democrat candidate. For the first time in almost a decade, for me and for Heather too, I didn't have to drive 3 hours before I saw a Democratic billboard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in rural Virginia, it was that bad. And talk about that energy. For the first time in a decade, some of these districts actually had somebody was a local guy or local woman that they could vote for. And Heather, I'll let you chime in on this because she was part of campaigning for some of our local delegates, and that helped the statewide races.
Well, I mean, granted, we're not the blue Southwest Virginia we were during the Boucher years, but if you're not going to put a dog in the race, so to speak, how do you expect to ever grow your numbers anywhere? So, I mean, a lot of these Republicans, and I even noticed this past election, a lot of the big signs for Winsome Earl Sears and her lieutenant governor and AG, you didn't even see a lot of those signs go in the ground till a day or two before the election. They don't even feel like they need to campaign here anymore.
Right. Well, here's another thing that I think you got to convince the state party and the state level candidates about by putting candidates at the local level. You give Democrats a reason to go to the polls. And by the way, while they're there, they'll vote for your gubernatorial candidate.
Yeah. And give you, for example, locally here in Wise County, Harris only pulled 17% of the vote. Okay. Our recent governor's election, we increased that by almost 7% by having local people run. And we actually had the most votes for a Democrat governor since 2009. So
And
that
it's
shows
because
you
you had people running.
yes. And also, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug them. I'm gonna let Heather plug them too. Dr. Fergie Reid Jr. and his efforts to get people to run in these rural districts, and not only run, just got them some basic funding to get their name out there. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'm talking about we had delegates that only had $10,000 to $15,000. I think we had a few that had $20,000 in a campaign going against incumbents that had $500,000 to $1.3 million
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in their campaign coffers. But even that 10 to 15,000, it was the best money the Democrats could spend because you got that return. I mean, where else could
Return
you
on
spend
investment. Yes.
$20,000 and get a bump in the votes? And that was the reason why Spanberger could go to bed early on election night and know she had it in the bank.
That's right.
So,
Well, another thing that has always fascinated me is when you take the amount that a campaign spent and divide it by the number of votes and see, okay, what did it cost us to get these votes? Well, I suspect, I haven't done any math on it, but I suspect in Virginia, you spent a lot less per vote than some of those Republicans with their millions. Yeah, and the other thing that fascinates me is the short-sightedness, not fascinates, but maybe horrifies me, is the short-sightedness of some of the leaders in the party about this whole rural thing.